Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about some new emotos. I've had this bike for close to 3 weeks now, and I've been loving it. It's my first emoto. I came over from the X class before this, and this is just a different level of power. Yeah, to start, I wanted to talk about all these new emotos that are being announced. Number one on my list is the Altis Sigma and the Sigma MX, which is like a motocross version with a smaller rear tire, smaller and thicker rear tire, made for off-roading. And then they have a regular version which has two 19-inch wheels, which is mainly for street riding. It's got moto tires on it. There's been a ton of hype around this bike. People even saying they're going to sell their E-Ride Pro SS's to get this bike. I'm still a little bit skeptical. Sur-Ron released a video announcing the launch of the bike, and they did like hill tests with a bunch of popular emotos. And yeah, just some of the tests were like super biased. They did this hill climb where the Altis got a little bit of a head start, but they called it giving it a handicap, which isn't entirely true. You know, if you're going to do a hill climb, you want to do it from a standstill instead of with a run-up. Yeah, I'm still like super skeptical. I don't think anybody knows all too much about Altis, the company, their track record. I'm pretty sure this is like the first production vehicle they're gonna build. And yeah, everybody just is looking at the specs. I will say it is super powerful. It's like a 20 kilowatt motor. It's a 98 volt system too, which is absolutely insane. And then it has like a 98 volt 35 amp hour battery, which is cool. We'll see what the range, what the realistic range is. But yeah, also like another thing that I don't see a lot of people talking about is the quality of the bike. Altis is new. We don't have any track record for the company to see what kind of quality bikes they make. The bike is set to release, I think, a couple months from now in December sometime. I think end of November or early December they're going to start shipping them out. And they're already sold out of their first batch, which is like kudos to them for going this route and generating a lot of hype. I just think a lot of people are now just blindly following influencers, which I can't blame them. You know, I'm a fan of Sur-Ron and the videos that he makes, but yeah, you also have to use your brain sometimes. Yeah, so that's one of the new emotos coming out. Just yesterday I learned about the E-Ride Pro SR, which is going to be a more beefed up version of their SS 2.0. And that we don't have a lot of details about that bike yet. It's said to have a 25 kilowatt motor. Seems like all the companies are just one-upping each other at this point. 25 kilowatt motor, beefier front suspension. I would assume a better rear suspension as well. I think it's bigger than the E-Ride Pro SS is now. It's going to be something closer to an Ultra B maybe. Some people were saying the seat is just a lot longer and beefier. And that the front suspension forks are just a lot longer than previous models. I know a lot of people have been having issues with the E-Ride Pro SS forks, the stock forks. They end up leaking and a whole bunch of annoying stuff. Before I got this bike, I was thinking about getting an E-Ride Pro SS. They're on sale now for like $4,400, which is a really good deal. Also cheaper than the Sur-Ron Light BX right now, which is insane. With the power you get from the E-Ride, it being a 72 volt system, I think it's 12 kilowatts compared to like this 6.5 kilowatts you get with a Sur-Ron. Like, I just don't understand why anybody would go and buy a brand new Sur-Ron anymore. The Ultra B I can understand. Everything else just it's just not worth it in my mind. They're supposed to be releasing like a new bike soon, the Hyper B, which is like I think it's going to be like a pit bike size, which is like super small. I don't think a lot of people, at least I definitely wasn't looking to get a pit bike. I wanted something for my size. I'm a little bit heavier than most people. I'm not super tall, but you know, I'm 5'11", 200 pounds, so not really looking to crouch down and ride around on a pit bike. Yeah, Sur-Ron's trying some new stuff. Nothing really innovative, it seems, at least not yet. And then, of course, that left me with the Talaria MX5. And yeah, I have loved what Talaria has been doing with their bikes. Like each generation, from the MX3 to the MX4 to the XXX, has like brought something new to the table. Them introducing the XXX was like huge. It made it so much cheaper for people to get into the e-moto market at a reasonable price, and like great performance too. The XXX is even faster than the Sur-Ron. Might even have longer range. It's also got a small form factor size, but not like pit bike style. And tons of people have come out with like upgrades and mods for it, which is great. I'm hoping, you know, a similar thing happens to the MX5. The other bike I was looking at, as you guys know, is the Mantis X, but I don't know if I mentioned this yet. I just started to realize that they don't have a lot of aftermarket support currently. I don't know if they plan to in the near future. I know they've partnered up with a few companies, but I haven't really seen that many products. I've seen people on Facebook groups that run into issues with the bike, you know, a part breaks, and then there's legit nothing they can do but contact the company, and support, I've heard, is not super helpful, which is sad to hear. I don't think they have any, they don't have a large presence in North America, that's for sure. They're mostly based out of China. Once again, I loved my ride on the bike, but I wanted something that's going to last me a long time, and that's why I was willing to fork out more money for the MX5. Even though the MX5 is much more expensive, it's like competitively priced, I would say. At this point, like, who knows? A lot of these new bikes are like reaching $5,000. Yeah, a lot of these new bikes are breaching $5,000. You know, the Altis is going to be, what, $5,500. The new E-Ride is going to be $5,600, I believe. So yeah, people are ready like to spend tons of money on these things, you know, and they could easily just go buy a motorcycle. But I truly believe, like, we're living in a time where electric is going to be the future. You know, all it's going to take is just one really super popular bike to reach the masses at a reasonable price, and the rest will be history. I mean, Tesla's already done that in the car space. You see a whole bunch of other car companies come out with electric cars, and they're being more adopted. Of course, you have the range anxiety, but with proper infrastructure, charging stations, all of that can be remedied pretty easily. And that's what's happening right now. I mean, Sur-Ron started this whole e-moto dynasty that got people excited, kids and adults excited to get an electric dirt bike, essentially, and just be able to ride wherever they want, you know, go off-roading right on the street, technically not legally, but still, and just build up a lot of hype and build a great product, and kudos to them for doing that. Yeah, kudos to them for doing that. But now the competition has toughened up quite a bit. You have like 20 different companies coming out with e-motos. You know, I was looking online the other day. GoTrax has their own e-moto, which is insane. Now keep in mind, it's much more expensive and probably not as great performance But it's insane to see all these companies kind of add a new e-moto to their already existing lineup, you know? Scooter companies going and e-bike companies going and building out these e-moto bikes to try and gain a piece of the market, which is cool to see. There's even a Canadian bike company called Bike Tricks, which is pretty popular, I would say, and they have their own e-moto as well. Once again, underpowered, but it's just really good for the competition that all these companies are working on rolling out these new vehicles. So that's enough about like the industry. Once again, lots of hype, but you know, do your research. Make sure you wait a little bit before purchasing a bike. I know that's what I did with the MX5. There were issues where the battery caught on fire and an influencer had posted it to social media, and then they had to do a big recall, which is great. That's what every company should do.